Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. My name's Giovanni and I'm here with
Erica.
And today we're gonna be doing the VIP experience at Universal Studios Hollywood. Is it worth it? We'll let you guys know. Stick around to find out. Let's go. About 6 to 7 hours. So we're going to be here till about 5:45 doing everything we can in the park. It's as much as we can get in, all the best rides, the classic attractions. We're going to hit the movie studio. That's the first part of the day. Of course, my favorite. I hope you guys are excited for that because it's really the best thing ever. And then after that, we'll hit lunch. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet lunch. Best food in the park. We have guests that come from all over the world and they'll say this is the best food park food ever. So I hope it lives up to those expectations. Lots of options, great food. Then, after that, we'll do some more rides. We'll get down, explore Mario Kart, see some Transformers, ride the Mummy. Down there, the only ride that's closed is Jurassic World today. However, we're going to pivot. We're still seeing some dinosaurs today. I will say there will be dinosaurs at a certain point in our tour. The big thing is, since we have so much time, or not a limited amount of time to do all the rides, we're going to be skipping shopping for the most part. So we're just doing ride, attraction. You'll have really over an hour at the end of the day to kind of go explore the shops on your own, find your souvenirs, and I'll give you some tips at the end of the day. If you get to anything, if there's something you've been wanting to do, if you need anything, any tips, just let me know. I'm your guy on the inside. So any questions today, my #1 job is to make sure you all have an amazing time. Last thing, there's a couple of rides today that are going to take your pictures. I don't know how we feel about ride photos. I personally never want to see my ride photos. I photograph horribly on rides. But if that is your thing, if you enjoy your ride photos, I'm going to save all that information for you and give them to you at the end of the day on these little cards. You can take them to Hollywood Photoland. You'll see it just around the corner. Hand them the card. It's not included price-wise in the tour, but if you want to take a look at it, that's an option you have. But if you throw that card away, I will not be offended at all. It's your choice to do it with it what you will. And are we ready to get started? All right, let's hit the movie studio. We're going.
What's her name? Eslyn. Hello.
You guys have met donkeys before, right? I just love, like, we have a few characters like that in the park that will actually talk to you and, like, you have a conversation. So the Simpsons ride is a motion simulated roller coaster. Essentially, it kind of looks like that. You're on the platform, it rides up, you're in front of a giant screen, and then you're just moving around. That is top tier of motion sickness. That one and Harry Potter, I think, are the biggest. So that's a fair warning for that. Alright, so take a look on your left, guys. That is the back one. That's the movie studio. That's where we're going down to explore.
If it's like rains or road, anyways, it's fine. We'll worry about it right now. I'm gonna table it for later. Welcome in now, welcome in. This is your left-hand side, bathrooms to your right. I don't know if you know this, but it's Mario's birthday. I'll give it up for Mario. It's his birthday! Thank you. Enjoy it. Take care.
movies and television shows ever since. We do have Fire Station 51 right here. This is a real life fire station. It's not a movie set, not a television set. It's a real fire station in Los Angeles County. We are our own city here at Universal Studios. We call it Universal City. We have our own postal code. We have our own fire station, our own sheriff substation. We have 3 Starbucks and 1 coffee maker. As we make our way down the timeline, you're going to get your first look at one of our many sound stages. And it's going to be sound stage number 12. It is our oldest, most historic, largest sound stage that we have here on the lot. It's cut up on your left-hand side. Some pretty historic sets have been built inside of Soundstage 12. We did build the clock tower for Back to the Future. There's kind of a scale replica of the clock tower. But my favorite thing is this resort for couples retreat. I saw this movie and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go there. That place looks awesome. And then I started working here and I saw it on the clip and my heart broke. I was like, that's not a real resort. Right now is our sitcom alley. We're going to talk a lot about movies here today, because that's what Universal Studios started as, but we're also very big in the television universe too. NBC Universals, NBC television shows, Peacock shows, do film a lot of those here. Speaking of television shows, Ted, our very famous teddy bear, he is getting his own television show. It's a prequel to the Ted movies. It's going to be on Peacock. Make sure you check that out. There we're going to do right now. These are production bungalows. So everything that happens before a camera starts rolling, you're talking like the script writing, the casting, the budgeting, the everything else, all the meetings, pre-production stuff. It all happens right here in our pre-production bungalows. They used to be home to some of the most famous actors and actresses in Hollywood, being Rock Hudson, Lucille Ball, Doris Day, James Stewart, and now they're home to some of the greatest producers of our day. Thinking Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, right? That's $7 Productions. I always make sure to keep an eye out in case The Rock is there, so I can wave to him, and then he's gonna cast me in his next movie. Like that's how it works here in Hollywood. You see The Rock, you wave to him, you're in his next movie. Facts. Selection of those coming up on your left-hand side. You're thinking things like the Ferrari 308 from Magnum PI. Sorry guys, it's a Ferrari. It has a Volkswagen engine, helps it run a little bit quieter. We have flying cars from Back to the Future Part 2. And back in the past, we had foot-powered cars from the Flintstones. Those are actually run with cables behind the car. My favorite picture car we have in our collection, though, is this 1997 Mercedes SUV. Right? In 1997, luxury SUVs weren't a big thing, but nowadays you have Lexus, Mercedes, Tesla. Everyone has their own luxury SUV. But back then it didn't exist, and so Mercedes approached the production of Jurassic Park, The Lost World, and they're like, hey, we want to develop a car for you guys to use in your movie. Hopefully it'll make people want to buy it. So Lost World was like, yeah, dude, for sure, you can do that. So they developed the Mercedes SUV, used it on the island. People saw that it could outrun a T-Rex. They flocked over to Mercedes to buy it, only to realize that color did not exist. Now we're gonna take another trip to the tropical island. To Jurassic Park. Coming up on the left and right hand side of the trolley, you're gonna see a good selection of some set pieces, picture cars, and props from the Lost World Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 3. That includes our mobile lab unit that was hanging precariously over the side of a cliff with Jeff Goldblum and Julian Moore and the one and only Vince Vaughn hanging inside. Sorry, it is a fake lab. It's made out of wood. You can see it chipping. It's crazy. No, it's not big. Dinosaurs. If you guys like what they do, just wait to see what this big one does. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Just usually drives faster, but wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, my timing on that joke was bad, so we're gonna try it again, okay? Yeah, so even our dinosaurs are real. You got, no one saw that coming. He didn't get any water on him, so we're trying again. Oh, there's the dinosaurs they were missing. I had no idea where they were. The cage is unlocked?
Maybe the next time. Maybe
Okay. So if anyone remembers the original Jurassic Park, the first time we see the T-Rex coming out of his paddock, it's raining, it's pouring. Ian Malcolm was snoring. I like that. I'm gonna use that one again too. I got like 3 laughs out of that. So one of the biggest parts of that whole scene was the weather, right? Steven Spielberg was lucky enough to have a hurricane come through when they were filming. Here in California, we don't get that very often, unless you were here on Sunday during the tropical storm, and I was doing this tour and I was like, my joke doesn't work right now. We actually are gonna give you a little bit of a weather demonstration with some strobe lights for lightning. We have a very high-tech speaker system for thunder. And now we're gonna get technical, all right? We're gonna combine 2 parts of hydrogen, 1 part of oxygen. We're gonna pump them up through these cool systems we call sprinklers, and we make it rain. Now we use a lot of cool lighting effects in Hollywood to make the rain appear larger than it is. If you ever watch a baseball game and it's in a rain delay, you don't actually see the rain because the lights are coming from the top. Now we light it from the sides and from the bottom so it appears bigger. And then in post-production we use the sound of sizzling bacon to simulate the sound of rain. So now whenever you see rain, you're going to think of sizzling bacon. If I have to suffer, you have to suffer. Now when we do get a little too much rain out here, this happens. So we said adios to Old Mexico. We're saying howdy to 6 Points. Each street had its own bank, its own saloon, its own hotel, and its own sheriff's department / jailhouse. We were able to actually bring people out here, fans of the films. They sit 25 cents. You can sit in the bleachers, you have a snack lunch, you can boo the good guys and cheer for the bad guys, or the other way around if you like that. I like villains, so I'm cheering for the bad guys every time. And since it was silent films, the sounds of the crowd didn't affect the filmmaking. But after the 1920s, we started using sound, so essentially these streets became obsolete for filming 6 at a time, but we still use them for a lot of westerns, even to this day. Quentin Tarantino's 9th film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, about 40 minutes of that film feature our 6-point sets. Now we're entering Little Europe. Little Europe, just like everything else, we can use it for any European country that we want. All you have to do is change the signs, change the colors, change the costumes your actors are wearing when they're walking down the streets. Little Europe is home to pirates and princesses and puppets and also movie monsters. There's a little bit of a debate whether we consider the Hunchback of Notre Dame a famous Universal movie monster. Some people do, some people don't. There's no right or wrong answer. But Lon Chaney played Quasimodo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame in 1923. That's kind of when we got our start with the movie monsters. The first real movie monster came out in 1931 with Dracula, played by Bela Lugosi. Alright, so these streets were Transylvania. They were Germany in Frankenstein, also came out that same year. They originally used for one of our first Academy Award-winning films, All Quiet on the Western Front. These streets were Germany and France. One side was Germany, one side was France. We used the same German streets for Frankenstein, so if you watch both back to back, you'll notice the same streets everywhere.
I know what some of you are thinking. This is a lot of information. And what I would really love to do is take a break and do what I came out to Southern California to do. Go to the beach, right? So we're gonna hit the beach, guys. We got a very cool exclusive for you. Recently, we've been terrorized by a bit of a shark problem. But don't worry. See, we have this private little resort right here on the island, or right here on the studio, called Amity Island. If you've heard of this, maybe you heard of that shark problem we had. I wouldn't worry about it though. Tony went out this morning, he fought that shark with his bare hands, took it down, we hung it up. So we're gonna see what he did. Wow, Tony, you really gave that shark a 1-2. I'm just bleeding from the gums. Very cool, very cool. So yeah, as you can see, no danger, just to, what is that? Is that ominous music playing? That's not usually a good sign. Hey, I think, is that a dolphin in the water? I think it's a dolphin, because dolphins have fins too. That's our buddy George. He's kind of doing a little maintenance on the mechanics down there. George, is that a dolphin? Say it's a dolphin, George. Screaming is not, oh. Okay, that's a shark. I think we missed one earlier. That's fine. It's totally fine. You know what? While George takes a break, we'll stay safe by hiding behind these giant flammable barrels of gasoline. Gus, are you sure about this? You know what? Yeah, this is a good plan. This is a good plan. Gasoline, sharks don't go together. He does have that barrel though, pulling the pier apart. The gas tank is, oh boy, oh wow. This is going south real fast, you guys. Keep your eyes peeled. This shark could be anywhere, especially in the water. Where are you? Oh no, look out, it's Jaws! It's Jaws 2! It's Jaws 3D! And Jaws the Revenge. Everybody give it up for Bruce, our resident shark here at Universal Studios Hollywood. The hardest working shark in show business too. Pop quiz for the kids on board. I don't even know what kind of shark that is. Great white. Great white is so close. Plastic shark though. It's not part of this board. Any Mr. Bean fans, take a look on your right. That green Fiat is from Mr. Bean's Holiday, sitting right in front of a double-decker bus from an episode of Arrested Development. There's 2 Transformers, Bumblebee and Barricade. We got a bunch of Fast and Furious vehicles, including this one on the end here was in Furious 7. Welcome to the Bates Motel from Alfred Hitchcock's classic thriller. You can see the house up at the top of the hill. You see it over there? That is the original structure from Alfred Hitchcock's classic thriller Psycho. So if you're a fan of Hollywood history, of the history of movies, of horror movies, of thrillers, it really doesn't get any more historic than the house on top of the hill. Psycho changed the game for movies forever. Case in point, before Psycho, never before had a flushing toilet been shown on screen. After Psycho, you bet there was. So let's pay a visit. It looks like Norman Bates himself, the owner of the Bates Motel, is waiting for us. Hopefully he can get us a good deal on lodging. I know some of you are visiting from out of town. Hey Norman, how's it going today? How's your mother treating you? Is she okay? Is she what is that? Oh no. Norman, no, that's okay. We're good. We don't need to stay here. That's fine. Oh boy. Caught him on an off day. I think all the construction around is making him a little cranky. Or maybe it's this horrific crash site from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision that Steven had.
You sit down and talk about War of the World. That thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
the vehicle and explore some really incredible parts of our movie studio.
The new series, we get to see that. So right behind me is a top secret mission control bunker for the Quantum Leap program. It's about 5 stories underneath the Department of Defense. Right. As soon as we step through these doors, we're gonna be about 5 stories underground. Goal for the Quantum Leap program, like I said, we're about 5 stories underground. You can tell we're underground because there's rocks on the walls. That's how Hollywood does underground. A couple cool things about this set in particular. This is what we call a hero set. So it appears in every single episode of the television show. So any episode that you go home and watch on Peacock, our digital streaming service, you will see this set in it. When Will Smith's like, hey, if we have so much money, how come we can't afford a ceiling? And the camera pans up, and then at that moment you're like, oh, they don't really live in a mansion. This is all just a movie set. And then you're sad because you know you'll never be able to live in that mansion. And then you cry just like I did. You'll notice all this rigging, all the cables and chains that are up on top. We do not nail anything into the ground. Everything is secured from the top. It makes it a lot easier to build our sets, take them in, take them out when we're done with them. Doesn't do any damage to the actual concrete. Like I said, everything's just a rental facility. So even though Quantum Leap is an NBC television show, that production is renting out this soundstage in particular for their filming. Once they're done, it'll go on to the next and on to the next and on to the next. These sound stages are booked up all the way through 2028. When Los Angeles has the 2028 Olympics, all 8 of these sound stages are going to be used as the international broadcast headquarters for all of the countries.
Welcome to Hill Valley from Back to the Future. Pretty amazing, right? I gotta be honest, this is literally my favorite place in the world. Just standing in Courthouse Square will never get old. So welcome to one of the most historic spots on the Universal backlot. You've seen our sets over and over and over again in different movies and television shows, and you don't really know you're looking at the same thing, except for this one thing that was the Back to the Future clock tower. You may notice it looks a little different. Reason being, it started to get recognized. They were making a show, they were working on a show at the time called The Ghost Whisperer, starring Jennifer Love Hewitt. So they built this facade, a shell that was built to go over the original clock tower. Reason being, they didn't want to be recognized every single episode. They wanted their own town, their own world. So they built that, they put it over the original. They also put in that fire station behind us, can fit a full-size fire truck. Courthouse Square, the clock tower from Back to the Future, if you're unfamiliar, are pretty integral to the actual plot of the film, because it used to be very different. The original concept for Back to the Future involved not a DeLorean, but a refrigerator, if you know about that, and that big finale where lightning strikes the clock tower and sends Marty back to the future. That's the street he's driving down. Well, that was very different. In fact, it involved them sneaking inside a nuclear power plant, stealing plutonium, hiding inside a fridge, shooting it back to the future. But obviously, the movie we saw was very, very different, right? This is a tale as old as time in Hollywood. The movies you start with are very different than the movie they end up being. So Back to the Future is just one example. Here's what happened. First, the executive producer was Steven Spielberg. He didn't want kids getting excited about time traveling in refrigerators and trying that at home. So they nixed that idea off the bat, decided to go a different way. There was also the idea of the finale. Was proposed a huge budget, way more than they were allotted. So they had to think about something that they could actually use that was already here. So one day, Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis, their offices are on the lot, hop in a golf cart, driving around for lunch. They stop here in Courthouse Square, which again, even then, was pretty historic. And they look up at the courthouse. At that point, no clock. And they said, what if we put a clock on top? Right? Time travel, clocks, that makes sense. And then there could be a storm, and lightning can strike the clock tower, and all of a sudden it was like the ending of Back to the Future manifested in their minds all at once. We like to think our filmmakers, our production designers can come in, completely reimagine our backlot or sound stages, whatever they can dream of. But every so often, it is the backlot itself that inspires our filmmakers. And that was the case with Back to the Future, because without this place existing, that would probably be a very, very different movie.
Dracula.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, well, I'm a little thirsty and you brought dessert. Who is this lovely lady you're with?
This is your dessert.
Hey.
I already knew that. I asked who she is, a name, you know, how quickly I should drink her, stuff like that. What? No. You think you can put the spell on the dead? Really? Would you like to die inside or are we killing you outside?
I'm not dying today.
You might last until tomorrow. We don't know that yet.
I think we'll die outside.
Outside? All right. Jason, who is another killer, Jason, he'll seat you. They're going outside, Jason.
Thank you, Jack.
Enjoy your last meal.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. It is you.
One more time. It's literally the best view of the valley you can get. That's Warner Brothers. Past Warner Brothers is Disney. Basically at the edge of all their property lines. Welcome to Lower Lot, guys. There's lots to see and do here. Jurassic World, the ride is down, but there's still dinosaurs to meet. You can see Blue over in the distance. There's a bunch to do. We're gonna get to the Mummy and Transformers. We're gonna start in Super Nintendo World. And see here, we have mini games strewn around the land, characters to meet. There's Princess Peach, Her Royal Highness Mario and Luigi pop up. So let me get you guys some power-up bands. Whoever wants to get them, follow me.
We're coming for you.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
How's it feel?
Secure. Yes.
How's it feel?
Secure.
Secure? Ready to go.
Always.
on up out of here.
Remember to listen to Snowball. Just something I never thought I'd say.
Come on, let's get super cool, high-tech drunk. 30 pounds more muscle on you. All right, count of 3. 1, 2, 3, spray him. Wait a minute, why am I empty?
Civilization may start anew on dry land, while the mariner roams the 4 points of the compass on the endless seas of water.